Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me today, and if you are new, welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can prepare for your study permit application. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you're watching this video right now and you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and click on the subscribe button down below. So if you're interested in this video, then keep on watching. Okay guys, so before we get into this video, I want to just put out a little disclaimer out there because I don't want anybody coming for me, okay? So I am not an immigration lawyer, I'm not an immigration consultant. I am sharing this information solely based on my experience and also experiences of others as well. So there's a lot of information out there on the internet, and you can find all of the data that I'm about to share with you online. So I will link all the links in the description box below, so you can go ahead and check them out, okay? So you have decided that you want to come to Canada. You've decided that the route that you want to take is the study permit route. Great. So the first thing is, okay, so I have a little book here with me. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I just want to ensure that all of my thoughts are in order and I give you all of the correct information, right? So your study permit application is going to be unique to you based on your situation, right? So if you are an individual planning to come to Canada alone, then your process is going to be slightly different from someone who is going to come as a family. So whether they're coming with their husband and wife, along with a child or children. So it is going to vary depending on your particular situation, your background, your age, your educational qualifications. You have to take all of these things into consideration. So that's why this video is not a across the board video, but these are the basic requirements that you will need to satisfy in order to even start your application. So the first thing that you have to do is to check the requirements. All you have to do is to go on the CIC website. I will link the requirements somewhere, or I'll put all of the requirements somewhere on the screen, and I will also link the links that you can go ahead and confirm. So you want to go ahead and check the requirements. What do you need to start your application? And the basic requirements for a study permit application is: 1, you have to be accepted into a designated learning institution. And a designated learning institution is just a school that the Canadian government recognizes and approves. So you can check on their website. The school that you're interested in, you can put it into their website and find out if it is a designated learning institution. So the first thing, you have to be accepted into a designated learning institution. Second thing is that you have to show proof of funds. Proof of funds meaning you have to show that you are able to pay your tuition fee for at least a year, as well as living expenses for a year. And the living expenses are going to include for yourself or any additional family members that you are planning to come to Canada with. The third requirement is, of course, your documentation, just the forms and everything else that they request from you, and the application fee. So those are just the basic requirements, right? So after you've gone ahead, you've seen, okay, those are the requirements. The first, and I think the most important thing, is the proof of funds. So you have to show that you are able to provide for yourself and any family members coming with you for a year, additional family members coming with you to Canada, as well as your tuition fees. So in terms of proof of funds, right, there are a lot of ways that you can go ahead and get this money, and the proof of funds is going to depend on your situation as well as the school that you've applied to, because as I mentioned in my previous video, School tuition ranges, there's a broad range, and it depends on the province that the school is in and other factors. So how much you personally are going to have to find is going to depend on the school that you choose, as well as if you're coming alone or with any additional family members. So how much money you are required to bring for living expenses based on your particular situation, if you're coming by yourself or if it's 2 family members or 3 family members. So of course, a lot of persons always ask, okay, where am I going to find all of this money from? And you have various options. One, of course, savings. So I would like to think that this is not something that you randomly decided to do, and that you would have been thinking about it for some time, which would have given you an opportunity to save some money. Or even if you just thought of it, you would have been the kind of prudent person that always saves, so you have a little bit of money in the bank. So obviously, savings is a big way to finance this journey. Another common way that a lot of persons finance the journey is via sponsorship. So you can obtain a sponsorship letter from your parents, maybe an aunt, uncle, or someone in your life that has the money, and they are able to sponsor you. They're able to show their bank statement to say, hey, you know, this is my daughter, my son, XYZ, and I'm going to sponsor their education in the amount of X dollars. And obviously you have to show the proof of the relationship and all of that information when you apply. So if that applies to you, you can definitely take that route. Another route is you can always opt to take an educational loan, and it's going to be dependent on your situation and if you feel like that is something that you'd be able to do, because you have to consider the fact that you would have to be repaying the loan while you are going to school. So you can choose any of the above, along with any combination of the above, and it really just depends on you and where you believe that you can get the money from. But that is the most important. So just a few tips in terms of the funds. It is very, very important that you have all of the money, and not just have all of the money to show the government, but actually have the money when you come to Canada. If they say that you need 10,000 Canadian dollars for living expenses, trust and believe, so you are gonna need every dollar of the $10,000, if not more, because Canada is expensive. It's really expensive. A lot of persons think that, hey, you know, I can just show that I have the 10,000, but it's not really my money, and then when they come, it's like it's really, really difficult for them to acclimatize and to adjust to the country because they didn't come with enough funds. So you want to actually have the money. That's my recommendation, especially now with the whole pandemic and jobs not being readily available. It might be difficult for you to get a part-time job to say, okay, you know, you are going to work while you're going to school, which you can do, but you don't want to leave it up to chance. So that's a tip that I would give to ensure that you actually have the money. So the second tip that I would give is in terms of how you show the money, and I mentioned that in my previous video. That was the basis of my rejection. So if you have a lump sum of money, or somebody is giving you a lump sum of money, don't let them just transfer the money into your account one time and then you go ahead and do a bank statement. Either let them progressively transfer the funds or have different accounts, but you want to do it in such a way where it doesn't look as if you're just being loaned a particular amount of money to show that you are able to satisfy the requirements, because the visa officers will see through that. Okay, so the next thing that you have to do is to find a designated learning institution. And obviously the amount of money that you need to show is going to be tied with the institution that you go to, because you have to show proof that you're able to pay the school fee, whatever their school fee is, for at least a year. So how do you choose a school? One, you want to choose a school based on where you want to live in Canada. So let's say, for example, you have family members in a particular province here. You might want to go to a school in that province so that you can have some sort of support, either financial support or maybe somewhere where you can stay with a relative, or just any kind of support that you can get from family members there. You may want to go to a school in that province. So the school should depend on where you want to live. You want to go ahead and do your research. Do I want to live in Ontario? But a lot of persons believe that Ontario is saturated. So when they're finished with school, it's going to be difficult for them to get a job. So you want to take into consideration that. And of course, the rent prices are super high. Are you going to have to pay rent? How much money are you looking at? So where you live is going to play a very important role in terms of how much money you would be able to save on a monthly basis, or how much money you will be able to retain on a monthly basis from the money that you have brought with you. So you may want to consider other provinces like British Columbia, or you want to go to one of the northern provinces that are further away, but you have to take into consideration the weather. So many factors. So it's very important that you do your research. And then once you've landed on the province that you want to go to, then that's when you go ahead, you do your research on the school. And of course, that's going to depend on you. What program do you want to do? Do you want to do business management? Do you want to do project management? Do you want to do IT? Is it a 1-year program, a 2-year program? It's a master's, a postgraduate certificate, depending on you. So that is just based on your preference and what it is that you want to do. So once you've landed on a school, of course, you want to think about the cost. How much is it for the tuition fees? Because this is going to help you to either save some money, because if the school is costing $20,000 for just 1 year, then maybe you want to look at a cheaper alternative, a school that is maybe $16,000 or $15,000 for the year, so that you are better able to afford it. So again, that is really just preference. So once you've decided on the school based on all of those requirements that they have to satisfy for you, then what you need to do is to check to ensure that it is a designated learning institution. And I explained that earlier. The institution has to be an institution that is recognized by the Canadian government, recognized and approved, so that once you're finished, you're able to get the postgraduate work permit so that you are able to work in Canada. So funds, designated learning institution, and remember to always think about the location where you are going to live, because those things are going to play a very important role in your living expenses and how much money you are going to have to come out of pocket for every month. So once you've decided on the designated learning institution that you want to go to, the next step is to apply. Schools where there's no fee for the application, so you might want to just apply to a few different schools, and once you have your acceptance letter, then you are ready to apply. So let's just do a little rundown again. You've decided that you want to do your study permit. It's all going to be based on your particular situation. You have to go ahead and show the proof of funds. So whichever avenue you want to go ahead and get the money, because 2021, where the money resides. So anywhere where you need to get the money from, get the money, because you're gonna need it. So money, and then you want to go ahead, do your research on where you want to live and what institution you want to go to. Apply to the school and get your acceptance letter, and then you are ready to apply. So that's it, guys. That is how you start the preparation for your study permit application. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please let me know in the comments below if you are in the process of applying, and any questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer them. You can also go ahead and follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM there if you would like. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.